You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 236, The Breakup Police. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Welcome, Braveheart. I'm so excited you're here to listen to the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast. This is the Netflix of breakups, short, powerful, and actionable episodes that help you along your breakup journey. If you're interested in a more hands-on approach, I'd love to invite you to check out our free on-demand video training called How to Fast Forward Getting Over Your Ex Without Wasting Months or Years Feeling Jealous, Angry, or Unlovable. You'll learn how to stop letting your ex live rent-free in your mind, even if you want to get back together later, how to absolutely be sure that your life will be better than the one that you had with your ex post-breakup without it taking time, and lastly, the secret to feeling completely neutral about your ex without having to go no contact. Grab it for free at breakupcoachdorothy.com. Let's begin the episode. Hello, beautiful Bravehearts. How are you doing today? I hope you are having a fabulous day. I am sending you all of my love, and I just wanted to give you a friendly reminder that until the end of this month, we're in April of 2024, we are doing 2 huge bonuses when you book your Braveheart experience. So until the end of April, you'll get $1,500 off of the entire experience. It'll be an experience of a lifetime, right? You come stay at the Heartbreak Hotel for 3 nights where we spend 1 whole day together workshopping, coaching, and living your bigger and better life. So you get a vacation plus coaching. It's amazing. So as a bonus, you'll get a one-on-one call with me that you can either use beforehand to kind of prep for your trip, or you can use it afterwards when it comes to implementing everything that we talked about when you were on your trip. And of course, you're going to get access to the Get Over Your Ex course as the second bonus. So you get over your ex in a weekend and you get that much needed summer vacation all in one. I am so freaking excited. And honestly, I just can't wait to meet all of you in real life. This is just so cool that this is all coming to fruition. All right, so today I want to talk about something called the Breakup Police. So the Breakup Police is something that I talk a lot about inside of the Get Over Your Ex program. I also think I've mentioned it a couple of times here on the podcast before, but we've never done a whole episode on it. But I mention the Breakup Police a lot because I wish this was a thing. I wish there were Breakup Police who were out there writing tickets to the people who fuck up. You know what I mean? There are those moments you just feel so much injustice and you want the world to know what horrible things your ex did because it just feels so unfair. Like, how could someone do this and then just go off and live their life without being punished in any way, right? They broke the unwritten rules. Yes, they're societal rules, right? But they're unwritten. Right? Like, you're not supposed to cheat. You're not supposed to still be seeing that person after you cheat and like end your marriage over it. You're not supposed to move in with them or move on so quickly from a relationship. And wouldn't it be nice if there were police who would go around writing them tickets to say, hey, you were the one in the wrong and now you get to pay a fine for doing that thing. And this comes up a lot when I do coaching. But the thing is that no, there are no breakup police, and therefore we're left with feeling this experience of injustice and wanting validation from the world, from people around us that, hey, what they did wasn't okay. They were in the wrong and you were in the right, and they will get what they deserve. But what I found is that even when people say that, it still doesn't land. I remember my best friend saying that, and honestly, I remember random strangers telling me those things, but yes, I was telling random strangers my crazy AF story, my breakup story. I would like introduce myself just being like, hey, I just went through a breakup and this is everything that happened. But even when a random stranger would say these things, it still wasn't making me feel justified or validated in the way that I wanted it to. I thought, how do we know he'll pay for this? Because on social media, he looks happy. She looks happy. They look good together. They literally are doing the things that he said no to me about, but they're doing them together. So that's what I want to talk about today and what we're going to walk through. Now, when the breakup police aren't on duty, because unfortunately they never will be on duty, I don't think this will ever actually be a thing, we have to address this. And here's the thing. A lot of the ways that I address my problems in life are by looking at what I think would be different if my circumstances were different. So if these police were real things, how would my life be different? So, for example, if the breakup police were here and gave my ex a ticket for everything that he seemingly did wrong, like breaking up with me after I moved all my shit to Florida, then moving on in a matter of days, and then another ticket for thinking it was okay to pile all of my stuff in the front room of our home while another girl moved in, right? We could give tickets for all of that. And what would be different for me if I knew the breakup police had given them those tickets, we'd gone through that process? And the main thing for me was really feeling seen. I'd feel seen. I'd feel validated. I'd feel like some sort of justice was brought to the experience. Like the whole world could look up his record and see he was the one that treated me terribly, and he, wasn't just going to get away with doing those things, right? Now, I'm a firm believer that thoughts create feelings, and thoughts are optional. So one of my favorite questions to ask is, what would I have the permission to believe if my circumstances were different? I'm going to repeat that again because I want you to know how important this is. What would I have the permission to believe if my circumstances were different? Another way to put this question is, why would I be feeling seen and validated if the breakup police wrote him a ticket? What would I have the permission to believe if those breakup police wrote him a ticket? And what's fascinating is that a lot of times we're like, well, because I got what I wanted, or because the breakup police gave him the ticket, that's why I would feel seen and validated. But it's never the circumstance that makes you feel a certain way. It's always going to be what you make that circumstance mean about yourself, about your life. And so in this situation, when we think about what would I have the permission to believe if breakup police came and wrote him a ticket, it wasn't me. Other people get this and also agree with me that this is wrong. Because a part of me back then felt like I was the only one that was not okay with this, right? And if I believed that other people got me and people get me and also agree that this is wrong, it would ultimately mean I'm not alone in this and I'm on the right side. And what's crazy is I could have been believing that stuff from the beginning. I could just choose to believe I am on the right side. I'm not alone in this, and other people would agree that this isn't okay. So my question for you here today is, what would be different if the breakup police came to your ex and wrote him or her a ticket for what happened? How would you get to feel? What would you get to believe? And what's holding you back from believing that now? Is it possible to give yourself permission to believe that now? Right? Maybe it's, this wasn't right, and I don't have to carry it around with me anymore to make sure others know something bad happened. I know a lot of my brave hearts, including myself, carry around feeling terrible to prove to themselves and to the world that something terrible happened, right? We're too afraid that if we don't feel like shit, the world will forget something shitty happened to me, and it condones what happened to me. When in reality, we can acknowledge something terrible happened, we can choose to not agree with it, and we can feel good. Isn't that crazy? Of course, after we processed our feelings, allowed the grief, but you don't have to carry the heaviness with you for the rest of your life to prove that it happened. It's not yours to carry anymore. And I think that if Breakup Police were around, we would release that heaviness sooner because we'd recognize that it's not our responsibility to take care of it. Someone else is already taking care of it. Perhaps you give yourself permission to believe there are other people in the world who agree with with my stance on this, right? I'm not alone, and I don't have to carry this alone to prove that it happened. Maybe you give yourself permission to believe it's not my job to make sure this comes back to them, meaning it's not your job to make sure karma happens, right? Let God, the universe, do its thing. If there were breakup police, I bet you wouldn't be so worried about them being happy because you know they'd have to pay a huge ass fine for what happened. Long story short, I want you to take the day to think about, if I knew the breakup police would make sure there was justice in this experience, how would I feel and why? Remember that you'd be feeling a certain way based off of the stories you're telling yourself, based off of the optional thoughts you'd be thinking. What would I give myself permission to believe? And then why not believe it right now, here today with me? Why not believe that now, regardless of the breakup police being on or off duty? All right, my beautiful brave hearts, I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will talk to you next time. If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you'd like to learn how to fast forward getting over your ex without spending months or years feeling angry, jealous, or unlovable, I would love to personally invite you to participate in our free on-demand video training, where we share 3 mind-blowing moments that will forever change your experience with your breakup or divorce. Come check it out at breakupcoachdorothy.com.